Hey guys, welcome to Reds Projects. This episode, we're putting the VG30 back together. Now, this is the original VG30 that came out of my Navara that I blew up a long time ago. It broke a couple pistons from detonation. As you can see, most of the hard work's already done. I put pistons in it, bearings, did all the ring gap, got all the short motor finished, but I got to this stage and stopped. The reason was I was trying to source and get some MLS head gaskets for this and maybe some bigger cams, but they proved much harder to find than I thought. So it just sat at the back of the workshop for a while, and I didn't really need it together, so I just pushed it aside. Well, now that the motor in the Navara is now broken, this has a bit more urgency behind it to get this thing back together. So today I've got everything ready to go to at least get most of it assembled. I've got a VRS kit, and I've cleaned all the heads and done all the valve stem seals and stuff. And I want to try and get this as complete as I can today. Alright, so for this thing I'm just going to run a normal composite style head gasket. I don't normally like running these, I much prefer an MLS gasket. But as I was mentioning before, MLS head gaskets for these VG30s are hard to find, and when you do find them, they're very expensive and they're on the other side of the world. I'm just going to run a normal composite gasket for this, which on this platform doesn't seem to be a big deal. These things have so many head bolts that there's so much clamping force that you don't really need a MLS head gasket unless you're chasing massive power. You can see the LS1 has 10 head bolts. On the VG30 you have 13 head bolts, so think about that. LS, you got 4 cylinders, 10 head bolts. VG30, you got 3 cylinders, 13 head bolts. Got much more clamping force on a VG than most motors. So some of the research I was doing, people were saying you don't really need an MLS head gasket on a VG unless you're chasing 500-600 horsepower, like big numbers for a little 3-litre engine. Alright, so another thing that slowed down me putting this engine together was cams, because I wanted to put some bigger cams into this thing. And it turns out for the VG30 there's not many options to buy off the shelf cams. I could get the original cams reground locally. That was fairly pricey for what it was. Really, I just wanted to get this thing together now that the other motor's blown up, so I'll just run the stock cams again. Maybe the motor that's blown up in the car at the moment, maybe I'll build that properly, put some good pistons and rods and stuff in it, and maybe that motor can get some better cams and better headwork. But for this thing, it's just going together stock. We've got the heads on, got cams in, got cam gears on. I was starting to do all the front stuff and realised that I need to get a gasket and a seal for the oil pump and give it a clean up and stuff, because I wanted to try and get the timing belt and all the timing gear on the front. I'll get all those parts sorted through the week and we'll continue on next weekend. Alright, I'm back. And as you can see, I've got an oil pump fitted. Now, it's kind of a long story, I won't get into it too much, but I was really struggling to find an oil pump gasket. Couldn't really find a gasket anywhere. I found Precision was selling a brand new oil pump for a very heavily reduced price. It was like $17, marked down from $160 or something. And in the picture I had a gasket, so I bought that. It did not come with a gasket, and the oil pump is different to this one. It's got a bigger internal diameter where the crank is, so I couldn't use any of it anyway. So I bought a bottom end-ish gasket kit. That ended up being wrong as well. And I just kind of gave up and ended up making a gasket from scratch. It did take a couple goes and playing around with punches to get it exactly right. Right now, I'm back to where I was quite a while ago.
and we're going to put the timing belt on and finish reassembling this thing. Alright, let's put this timing belt on. You can see this is a Daco brand belt, and they give you the lines to line up, which makes things even easier. But this is probably one of the easiest timing belts I've done in a while. Got mark there, mark there, mark there, and I got one smooth belt. Alright, you can see that's lined up. That guy's lined up. And that guy's lined up. Alright, so now the timing belt's on, we can put the valve gear on. So put all this junk on. Turned it over a couple times. Set the tensioner, and we're all good. So let's get the rockers on. Come on. There we go. Nice. Alright, all the valve gear's on. Turned it over a few times, it all feels normal. Everything's doing what it should be doing. So tomorrow I'm going to clean all these, the rock covers, the sump, timing covers, and then hopefully get this thing sealed up as a long motor. Alright, the sump's on, and that's as much assembly as I'm going to do on the engine stand. So I appreciate you watching to the end, because I know this video is going to be a bit messy because I filmed it over a good couple months. But we're at the end now, and I desperately need to put this in the Navara because the motor in the Navara is very sad and it's been hurt for quite a while now. I originally heard it at the start of May, and we're now at the start of November. So just been driving it gently and just trying to keep it going, but it is smoking a lot and it is starting to run a bit average with low compression in a couple cylinders. So really need to retire that motor and put this guy in to continue on. So that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.